Dutch learners, welcome back. Last video I mentioned the articles, so I thought why not do a whole video about the articles. So here we are, let's do it. What are articles? Articles are words that we put before a noun to make the context of the noun clear. So in English that would be the and een. In Dutch we have de, het and een. We have two types of articles. We have the definite article and we have the indefinite article. Definite articles are used when we talk about a specific thing, and when we talk in general, we use the indefinite article. The indefinite article in Dutch is een, which is pretty easy because it even sounds like een in English. Now the difficult part is that we have two definite articles, de and het. The difficult thing about this is that there's not always a specific rule to follow. It's just something you will have to memorize. It's not feminine masculine, no, because we have, for example, de man and de vrouw. Unfortunately, whether the word gets de or het also has an effect on other words like adjectives, but more about that later. Let's just focus on the articles for now. So I said there aren't always rules to guide you whether to use de or het, but there are some rules. For starters, 70% of words get de and not het. So if you don't know which to use de. All plurals get de as well. Now you may be tempted to think, let's just use plurals for everything, but this will complicate your life in different ways. We also use de for words that we took from different languages like English or French. This is mostly for things that we didn't have words for in Dutch. Newer inventions such as the telephone, the laptop, the computer. These words get de as well. Anything in the diminutive that we use to make things either small or informal, we use het. So het biertje, het meisje, het telefoontje. And what is the best way to remember if a word gets de or het? It is repetition. How do you repeat? By consuming as much Dutch media as you can, whether that be videos on YouTube, movies on Netflix, reading books, reading magazines, reading articles, whatever you can lay your hands on. This way you will in the end reach a level where things just sound natural to you. You don't know why a word gets de or het, but it just does. And it feels natural. And that's where you want to go in the end, to a place where things just feel natural to you. Maybe you remember from the last video about the possessives that we use ons or onze depending on whether a word has de or het. So here's a few quick examples. Het huis, ons huis. De huizen, onze huizen. Het boek, ons boek. De boeken, onze boeken. Het tafeltje, ons tafeltje. Het stoeltje, ons stoeltje. De stoeltjes, onze stoeltjes. So you see that plurals always, even if they're in the diminutive, get de and not het. Now let's not forget the indefinite article, een. We use een when it doesn't really matter which exact something we're talking about. Heb je een boek? Ja, ik heb een boek. Do you have a book? Yes, I have a book. I'm asking about not a specific book, but just a book in general. When I continue the conversation, I know we're talking about a specific book, the book that is yours. So now I start using the definite article and I say, is het boek goed? Ja, het boek is goed. Is the book good? Yes, the book is good. So we're talking about this specific book. And we use the definite article. Morgen koop ik een nieuwe computer. De computer is duur. Ik koop de computer in een winkel. De winkel is niet ver van mijn huis. Ik loop niet naar de winkel, want ik heb een fiets. De fiets is oud en ik moet een nieuw zadel kopen. Het zadel van mijn fiets is kapot. Maar een nieuw zadel is duur en ik moet ook een computer kopen. So let's break that down. Tomorrow I'm buying a new computer. This is the first time that a computer is mentioned. It is the introduction of a new noun, so we use the indefinite article een. Now that we have established that the computer I'm talking about is the computer that I want to buy, the listener has some more information about what computer I'm talking about. So I say for the next sentence, de computer is duur, the computer is expensive. Which computer? The one that I'm going to buy. Ik koop de computer in een winkel. The computer is still the same computer, but now a new noun is introduced, een winkel, a shop. And because this is something new, we use the indefinite article, een winkel. De winkel is niet ver van mijn huis. Now I use the definite article because you know what store I'm talking about. It's the computer store that I want to go to. In the next sentence, a bicycle is introduced. So again, I use the indefinite article, een fiets. And the same for the next sentence because the bicycle is now familiar, but I'm adding a saddle. Een zadel. A new saddle is expensive and I have to buy a computer too. So for this last sentence, it doesn't matter which specific saddle or computer is expensive, they're all expensive. So back to the indefinite een. I hope this was okay. If not, don't worry, you don't have to get this on the very first time. It's not like I'm explaining something and you just input it and that's it, you understand it now. This comes with repetition and practice. So just take this information and now go read, go watch TV, do whatever you can to absorb as much Dutch media as possible. And just keep this in mind while you're reading, while you're watching. And feel free to leave any questions in the comment section below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'll see you here for the next video. Doei!